Okay guys, we're at the next stage with the seedlings that we planted previously. So at the moment we now need to add fertilizer to them, and we need to give them a good dose of water, and we'll also be turning the soil around them, so that's happening today. So we'll be putting the fertilizer down, and then we'll be going through the central tracks with the cultivator, which we have here. It's got rotating tines on the front, guide wheel for height. It has a drive gearbox because you wouldn't want to try and push or pull this thing when those tines are engaged. Motor on the back, and fuel tank obviously, and we can actually go forward in or backwards in tortoise mode, very slow, or in hare mode, very hare, as in bunny wabbit, as in a lot quicker. So that's there. Once we've done that, then we're going to be heavily flooding that area with water through those central tracks to give them a real good drink, and to get the fertilizer deep into the roots. So we have a Honda petrol powered pump here, WB30 XT, had for 12 years. It's a magnificent machine, just keeps on going. On the front, that's the discharge hose. There is a pickup hose which goes onto the front of the pump down in there, but that's a spiral wire reinforced. Because of the suction that the pump develops, it would suck closed. That's about 6-7 meters long, and it has a filter gauze on the end to stop. Okay, so we've got the equipment down to the bottom corner. Top corner, bottom corner. Okay, the ampulla over there, so you know this is where the flowers are that we put in previously. Yeah, they're coming along at varying degrees. Some have taken, some are a little bit slower than others, but that's agriculture, that's the way it works. So there's 1,000 in here, 9 rows. We have 1,000 goodinias basically. Each one of those on average will liberate 50 plus blooms, so 1,000. So it goes. So, the machine ran out of fuel. I've just been back to the house, get some more fuel. Pretty well the end of the last row. We could have done the other side of it, but the machine stopped. So we sort of decided, well, doesn't matter. But getting the machine out of there without drive of its own, nigh on impossible. So I'll have to put some juice back in it, and we'll get it up and running under its own power. We've been through and we've got all of the lines cultivated. Now the next step is what Mem's doing right now. She's going through and she's picking out the heart of each plant. So like this, if there's a center strand, frond, whatever poking up, she'll take that out. She's encouraging them to spread, to be more rotund than vertical, and doing that makes a stronger, larger plant that will bear more flowers, because there will be more branches in the actual plant itself. So all the little tricks that she's picked up and she's learnt that other people wouldn't necessarily know until their second or third crop, she's on top of those now. So there's a process, there's a method to her madness. Okay, heaps of water in the rubber tree plantation. We're going to use that. There's the Honda pump working, as it does. Brilliant little machine. And we carved another canal along the end that Mem's working with now. And that is going to feed all of these furrows that we've just made and completely flood this area. Mem's pretty good with a fall of water when she plants these. It's mostly hard work doing like what she's doing now, making sure that it continues to flow from high to low. Well, I hadn't seen that coming. She was worried that it was going to swamp that other channel, so she's opened up this one. This thing delivers an amazing amount of water, it really does. So we don't have great sort of flow at the moment, but she's working on it. We will have. I've seen her do it before. She's got a good eye for that stuff. We've got a couple that are working well. And she's going to coax a couple of the others into function. This one on the left might be the next one that she's attacking. But there goes the water now. So that one's successful. And as the level rises down there, we're getting more come this way, so it'll sort itself out. With that person there overseeing it. The water pretty much tells you where you've got to dig. When it stops to flow forward, then you've got to take a bit of soil out. It's coming to greet me here. So this side seems to be quite happy. There she goes, giving it a fine adjustment. The power of that stream coming out of that little motor. It's probably the most reliable and valuable piece of machinery we actually have. Mem bought that before I met her. We've been married over 12 years now, and it works all year, faultlessly. Occasionally it needs an oil change. Sometimes it may not start, it might have a bit of dirt or something in it. Man cleans that out, new spark plug, and off it goes again. Endlessly. That pump has drained 1, 2, I think 3 dams. As we've been sort of creating new dams and filling in old ones. The dam that was here, that one emptied. Emptied all the water out into the Ampular, which is our inland sea at the moment still. But we're currently drawing on that with, where are we? The pump down there, sucking it out of the inland sea and in there. Well, if the water level goes down in there, then I'll be able to cut a little bit further in some of the grass that was a bit much to cut. Ladies down there waiting expectantly for the water, willing it to come. She's doing a pretty good job of willing it. Magic. Bear in mind, before I met Mem, that we married, she did all this on her own. She's a pretty, what would you say? She has a discreet, a street sense ingenuity, in this case a farm sense ingenuity. She finds a way. She always finds a way. So this is where the pump's getting its water from. We've got about a foot and a half of water here, maybe a foot. And we're down on the top boundary near DJ Hatt's house. And a bit more view of the water that's actually ended up trapped here. The ground that the flowers and everything on was originally the same height as all that, but it's been built up over the years. And we've ended up with a situation that the water that comes from the top of the property over near where the lemon trees are comes down through the drop that's on the ground in the rubber trees, and then it gets stuck here. And so it eventually drains into the bottom dam, the other side of the coffee shop, but that takes quite some time. Really, we need another subsoil pipe here. The original dam, big dam, when I say original, the original was a little one down the far end of the property, and when I met Mem, we had the money to dig a bigger dam, which was pretty much this top half of where the flowers are now. And so on that dam, if you remember, you might just be able to see over there, about where, to the right of that concrete post in the ground, and that hole, about where that blue bottle was a concrete box shaped arrangement that we'd made, and it sits over the end of a, how big would it be? It's about a 14-inch concrete pipe which goes under the road into the next property. That's still there, and the hole in the ground's still there. I've been thinking about getting a front-end loader in and digging across the property here, where we are, and putting in a pipe that will effectively link that one under the road to the level of the rubber trees here, which is under about a foot of water. We can put a box around it, we can put caps on it so that we can open and close it and let it drain or not drain. But these are all projects that are sort of sitting on the shelf waiting to be looked at, done, or become more important when you're on farm.